Why do we need morality? Morality has no place in my message, in her message, because the true self cares about what is authentic and free-flowing, and what is authentic is true. To be moral is to be in accord with the standards of good or right conduct. Do we need to abide by a supposed objective good in order to find harmony or have a valuable experience? Absolutely not. In fact, the culture we are a part of tends to obsess over what is right and wrong, but not about what effortlessly flows from the heart. That is the problem with many systems of spirituality. They give a promise of an existence over there. And in order to get to that over there, to that brilliance, one must walk not authentically, but abiding by the rules that the said system of spirituality has created. Many feel that they cannot speak their authentic truth or desires or walk without fear because the world has set the standard of follow the rules. And if you don't follow the rules, how can you achieve anything? If you don't abide by the standards that society, that religion has offered you, what do you have left to abide by? Let's give an example. If Christ was not a savior, if there was no promise of Christ saving those who believe in him, would Christians still be Christians? That's an interesting question, isn't it? If there was no promise of a reward, how would you operate? Would you operate in the same way? When we eliminate the idea of brownie points or a golden star from the universe, when we eliminate that idea, what is left? That is what is authentic. Yeah, baby. But the issue is authenticity can be equated with vulnerability. If you're being authentic, that means you're not hiding. And we can't have that, can we? Many in this world assume if I don't put on a mask, if I don't abide by the personas that have been handed to me, then I'll be exposed or I won't be liked. But staying at the masquerade distances us from our own ability to recognize who we are, to connect. And what's the use in gaining the favor of a system of morality, of normalcy, of correctness, of goodness, if the return is loss of connection with self? It's funny, isn't it? When we recognize what is authentic, without labeling it as good or bad, we're able to merge the opposites known as heaven and hell, righteous and damned, good and evil. We become gray magicians. Speak what you mean. Act as you feel. Be as you are. Think what you may. But always know that you are the Savior. The various systems of spirituality around this plane are pretty obsessed with this concept of humanity being owned by a force. Or there is some cosmic force which expects you to follow along. We are owned by the universe, or by God, or by, I don't know, source. But somehow we're owned. That's the general idea. And as long as we bow down to this force, we're set, we're golden. That's how it works. Yeah. We've all heard about karma and gods and lords of reincarnation and blah, blah, blah. I'm informing you right now that there is no expectation of any divine external force for you to do anything, to act in any way, to speak or to believe in anything or anyone. That is a human created ideology, a myth that plays on the fear of loss. And anything which has the baseline of fear is a lie. Anything which has a baseline of fear is a lie. After all, if you don't do what Daddy wants you to do, he's going to lock you up in the cellar, right? It's outrageous. If you don't believe exactly what Daddy hopes you believe, he won't give you supper. Now, does that sound like a force of divinity? This is utter madness. No. It has nothing to do with abiding by any guidelines. We are in a construct, going through a very sacred initiation, despite what our five senses tells us. And this initiation is meant to take us back to our true selves. And yes, we are tested in this initiation. Are we going to fall for all of the fear-based paradigms, or are we going to align with what our heart speaks in the here and now without judging it? Are we going to open up the center point where all of us can be seen, experienced, and merged without harm? Or is that too shadowy and scary for you? If we are feeling unresolved, we have nothing to blame but our own lack of awareness. And be careful what you wish for, right? If you wish to only exist in a state of pure positivity, of pure happiness, of pure light, then perhaps what is seen as darkness shall grow larger and larger until a further split manifests into the feeling of brokenness. All demons are self-generated. Yeah, there is no such thing as possession from an external source. All vibrations, first and foremost, begin within. And of course, it's always easier to point the finger at the devil or at evil, at the elite, at your past, at this person who burned you, at your family, your coworkers. It's easy to point and say, that's evil, but I'm on the side of good. This is utter madness. This is where duality gets us. Duality, in the context that I speak of, requires two forces at odds with each other. And no matter what we think we are figuring out outside of us, any conclusion we arrive at is always a metaphor for our own relationship with self. We've been at odds with ourselves. That's a part of the journey, and it's a beautiful, crucial part of the journey. We may think we just want to teleport to paradise right this moment. Why can't I just go home? But you know what? Without challenge, there's no growth. Without mystery, there's no inspiration. You think you want all of the answers. You don't want all of the answers. If you had all of the answers, if there was nothing to figure out, if there was nothing to contend with, there would be no game to play, no experience to be had. So I don't ask for less struggle or less mystery. I ask to be revealed what is authentic in each and every moment. So, dear living souls, let's let ourselves flow authentically. And as long as we can flow authentically, true love will never die. How can it die? Keep up the great work.